Hello everyone. Today I will be showing you how to create unit testing using Visual Studio 2010 and Unmanaged C++. Okay, so let's launch Visual Studio 2010. Okay, so click on New Project. Click on Win32 and then Win32 Console Application. Then enter the following: text app, and then click OK. Click on Next. Then make sure that you have free compile header check here, and make sure it's empty and it's a console application, and then click on Finish. Next, click on Source File, click Add, New Item, and we're going to choose C++ file, and then put main.cpp and click on Add. Okay, so here type in include iostream, and then using namespace standard int main, and then just type standard cout hello world and line return 0 for now, and then just control F7 and it should compile successfully. And this is just the entry. Next, click on the solution from above, add new project, click on Win32 Console Application, then enter text app underscore library. Click on OK, click Next, and then choose static library and then precompile header, and click on Finish. Okay, next we're going to click on text app library, click on Add, and then click on Class, and we're going to use C++ class. Click on Add again, and then type in text app lib. Okay, and then click on Finish. Okay, so next, right click on text app library, click on Property, then click on All Configuration, go down to the C/C+, and click on precompile header, and make sure that the precompile header says use/yu, and then click on OK. So next, make sure to click on Save All, then click on Build, Rebuild Solution, and everything should be built without any problem. So you see here 2 of the projects, and 2 of them are built successfully. Okay, next we're gonna go to the text app lib.cpp, which is here, and then you can see there is the constructor and destructor. We're going to implement a couple of methods or functions. So here I'm going to go ahead and create a function called add. So it's going to return a type of double. So add double A double B and then return a plus b, and then save. Okay, and in order for this to work, we need to include this in the .h file. So go to text app lib.h, and here we need to add the prototype. So type in double, add double A, double B, control save, and go ahead and recompile it again. So just do a rebuild solution, and as you can see from here, it built successfully. And we're going to go ahead and implement the other functions. Okay, so before I'm going to implement the other function, I'll go back to the text app lib.h. I'm going to go ahead and include a couple of other .h file. So they are include string, include iostream for standard input output, include vector, and then using namespace standard. Okay, and control S to save it. Okay, so let's go back to text app lib.cpp and implement a couple more functions. So I'm gonna go ahead and implement a function called say something. So string text app lib say something, and we're just gonna pass in a string object, and we're gonna do a return of the same string that we pass in. Then go ahead and copy this and go to text app lib and enter it as a prototype. Okay, and then control S to save and control S to save. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and implement a function called concatenate. So string text app lib concatenate, and we're gonna enter string source and then string target, or you can say string target and then string source. I think it's target here and then source here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and return the concatenation, so target plus source, and save. So next we're gonna copy this guy here and go to text app lib.h, then enter as a prototype. So, and it's gonna return a string. Then go ahead and control S to save. Next, we're going to implement another function. Type in int text app lib concatenate list. So here we're going to enter a vector, string vector to be exact, and then string ampersand new string. So they're basically the address of string object that we pass in. And in this function, we're going to enter string, set it to empty string. Then we're going to loop through the vector. So int c equals 0, c less than, sorry, I need to correct this. So it's going to be string list of size C++, then we're going to go ahead and concatenate string list C. Okay, and then we're going to return it. So we're going to assign new string equal to string. Okay, and then we can do a standard out if we want to test to make sure that we have a returning string. So new string end line, and then go ahead and return string list dot size. Okay, and then go ahead and copy this guy into the .h file. And this is the prototype for concatenate list. And then Control S to save, and Control S to save. So next, let's do a build or rebuild solution, and make sure that we can actually build all of this without any issues. So as you can see here, everything is built. The test app.exe was built. Okay, so go back to the text app from here, and then click on property, and go ahead and click on common properties, and under framework and reference, click on add new reference, and we're gonna want to reference text app underscore library, and then click on OK. Okay, and then go ahead and click on OK again, and then save. Okay, so next we're going to click on right click text app properties, and in the additional include directories, this is what we're going to enter. So we're going to enter $, open parenthesis, solution dir / text app underscore library semicolon %, open parenthesis, additional include directories. Okay, notice the camel casing. Okay, additional include directories. Click on OK and save. Next, do a rebuild solution, and let's make sure that everything works before we go on to the next step. And we pull this up, you can see that text app.exe is being built correctly. Next step, go back to main.cpp and let's modify this file. So let's take out, so let's include text app lib.h. Okay, and it looks like it's able to find it after we include that directory from the library. Okay, so let's take out this line here, and we're going to go ahead and say text app lib and star object equal to new text app lib. Okay, and from here we can execute a function that we know that is in the app.lib.cpp. Okay, so let's say something here, right? So we can call object say something, and let's say we say hello world, and then assign a string object to it. So string equal to object say something, and then do standard cout of string and line then system pause. So we're going to see the output. So right now we don't have a test project yet, but we want to make sure that we can actually call our DLL. So let's rebuild this. And let's wait for it to build successfully, and then we can click on this start debugging. And as you can see the string is hello world, so it's working. Next, we're going to go ahead and create a unit test project. So right click, add new project, and we're going to choose test and then call test project. But here we're going to call this to be test app test text application, and then click on OK. Okay, and you can see that it builds a unit test.cpp. Next, we're going to open unit test 1.cpp, and we're going to enter include text app lib.h. So you can see that it might not able to find it. So go ahead and right click on text app, click on properties, and in general make sure that you have the proper include. So in this case we do the same thing here as we did in the main app. We put in $, open parenthesis solution dir / text app underscore library semicolon parenthesis %, parenthesis additional include directories, and notice the camel casing. And under common runtime support, we also want to change this right here to say common language runtime support /CLR. So that's what you need to select. Click on apply, and also you want to click on okay, before you click on OK, make sure your framework and references also you need to add a new reference here, and it's going to reference text app underscore library. Okay, and let's double check again in the general section that you have this include directories declare, and the common language runtime also declare, and then click on OK. Okay, next go to the private section of the test class here, the unit test class here, and type in text app lib star text app. So we create a pointer, text app pointer. Okay, so you can see if you scroll down to the section below, you can see that there are a bunch of comments here. So just take them out, you don't need it. Okay, and then just create your own test method. So here they give you an example to begin with. We can call this anything we want. So I'm going to create a few for you to see. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy out here, and I'm going to create a test method. So void add sum is equal, Then in here, we're going to have an assert statement. So assert ::, r equal. Okay, and I'm going to enter. There's going to be 2 arguments here, right? So the second argument, this is what we're going to be. We're going to call text app and a function called add, right? So let's say if add 4.5 plus 5.5, and we basically expect it to equal to 10.0, right? And go ahead and save this, and then go ahead and do a build. And let's wait for it to build successfully. Okay, so it's built successfully. We go ahead and click on, oh okay, but if you click on the debug, it's going to execute the main program. So what we need to do is go back to the solution here and right click and click on properties. Then under single startup project, we want to select the text app. Click on apply, click on OK. Go ahead and save and rebuild it again. Okay, and as you can see below here, this is all 3 projects are built successfully. And now we just need to click on this, start debugging, to actually execute the unit test app. And it says pass. Okay. And let's add a few more. I want to add something that we know it's going to fail. So I'll go ahead and copy this block of code again. And then Control V. And make sure that you name this something else. So like add sum is not equal, right? Instead of equal. And I'm going to say instead of 4.5, instead of 10 here, let's say that I want it to be 11. I'm expecting 11 instead of 10. And let's save this and rebuild. And let's check the output. And it is successful. And we'll go ahead and click on start debugging. And it pop an exception type error, and this is telling us that 11 is not equal to the actual 10 number that we get from our function. Let's click on continue. So you can see that one test pass, the other one fail, and it actually tells us why it failed. Okay, so we're going to continue on and complete the other unit testing for the other function, but so far this is how you create unit testing in Visual Studio 2010. Okay, so I went ahead and create a few more methods, test methods to be exact, and here I'm testing text equality. So you can see here that I'm asserting and I'm passing the hello as an argument, and I want to compare. So I want to compare the return string, and if they match, it should give me a green light, right? And here I'm testing to see if hello and world are the return string is the same thing as what I've expected. And if it's not, then it's going to give me a red light. And here is testing the concatenation of two strings, right? Hello and world. And if it matches hello world, then it passed the test. Otherwise, it failed. And below that is I'm sending a list of vectors. A vector. So the vector contains 1, 2, and 3. And if they are concatenated, it should be 1, 2, 3, like what you see here. And it will pass if it matches with 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so with that say, we're going to go ahead and do a rebuild solution. And let's wait for it to complete. And it's built successfully here. And we'll go ahead and just click on Start Debugging. And we have an exception, the same one we expected from before. 11 and 10s are not the same. Let's continue. And here we have 0 and -1, they're not the same. Continue. So here's the final result that we're getting. So all the tests passes except for 2, and that was the one where I think hello and world are not the same. So hello and hello is the same, but hello and world is not the same. Everyone else passes because this is what we expect to see. Okay, and you know, we saw a bunch of assertion window, right? And if you want to turn the assertion window off, you can click on Tool under Option and go to the actual debugger. Okay, debugging. And there is a enable just my code manage only. We want to uncheck that and press OK. And go ahead and click Start again. And you should not see any pop-up exception window to pop up. And no pop-up window. And the only thing you see is the results from the actual unit testing. Okay. Okay, so the next thing you can do is look at your project that you created, and there should be a test result folder with these .trx file. You can open them later and view the results which your unit tests have been executed. And in some of these directories there is the debug, the actual DOL, and the test app, etc. Okay, so this is pretty much a pretty long tutorial. I hope that you enjoy the tutorial, and make sure that you press like and subscribe and support my channel. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial.